G'day guys, today we have got the all-new Hyundai I30N DCT. This is the 2021 facelifted version, and today we're going to do a full detailed review on this car. We're going to be covering its specs, going over its interior, launching it, and we are going to find out if you should consider buying one of these or maybe have a look at the better-known competition. I'm Jonathan Ross, this is Ross Reviews, let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, the big changes for this car is the 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Previously, you could only get the I30N in a 6-speed manual. I, for one, did not mind that. I like the manual. I think the manual is great. The dual-clutch, though, it's great as well. I cannot fault this gearbox. You put it in eco mode, it's smooth. It doesn't really fumble around. And when you put it in N mode, you use the paddles. We do have some paddle shifters mounted to the wheel. It's quick. Instant upshift, instant downshift. You get the pops and bangs out the back of the exhaust. It's an event when you drive this car. And, you know, that is the whole thing about Hyundai. The whole thing about the i30N is that they made it fun and engaging. And that's simply the best part of this car. It's fun, engaging, it's silly, and you can't stop smiling the whole time you're in the driver's seat here. Now let's just cover the basics straight away. This has got a 2-liter 4-cylinder up front. It is a turbo petrol. This thing has 276 horsepower and about 392 Newton meters of torque. And I gotta say, for a 4-cylinder front-wheel drive, this one with the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, you can still get these in a manual. Thankfully, these things feel very healthy, very healthy. A lot of people aren't going to like that this thing torque steers. I, for one, absolutely love it because this drives like a 90s hot hatch. It just does. It's simple. Nothing is overcomplicated in here. And when you send it, it just goes. And you got to hold on to this wheel because it has got some grunt, I tell you. 276 horsepower. It feels healthy in this car. Weighs in at about 1.4 ton. So, you know, it's not that heavy. And just giving it some beans here. Oh, and you get the pops as soon as you let off. Oh my goodness, it's good. And it handles so well. The wider front track, we have even more aggressive camber up the front as well. So when you really hit it into a corner, you got that electronic limited slip diff up front also, which really helps keep the power down. It is good. And you know, this whole car, even the original i30N, it was bonkers crazy. We've still got that brace bar exposed in the back. And you know, you really feel this thing in N mode. We have adaptive dampers in this thing, so it all stiffens up. And we do have the NGS button mounted here on the steering wheel. You tap that, you're gonna get 20 seconds of maximum power and maximum torque from the gearbox. And it actually does change the feel of this car. I can notice it. Even when you're in N mode, you tap that NGS button, it feels like it does go up a notch. And yeah, you really got to hold on to this wheel, especially if you're doing any cornering. You don't need to do much motion to get this thing around a bend, which does help you when you're going hard on a B road. In the city, be prepared to have to 3-point turn though on things that you would expect to be able to do a U-turn on. So it does not have the best turning circle, unfortunately, but when you're on the B road, you're happy that you have that tighter ratio steering. It is adaptive, so you know, depending on what mode you are in, it will firm up the steering wheel. And just putting it in N mode, N grin shift, and let's give it some beans. Oh no, yeah, I just lost one of the cameras. That's what happens when you put it in NGS mode. So excuse me while I fix my camera. Man, it's It is crazy, this vehicle. You know, a lot of people still can't get past the stigma of Hyundai. And honestly, you're missing out if you can't get past that, because the Koreans are here to stay. They're making exquisite cars lately. And this I30N, I'm calling it best hot hatch 2021. This has got to be it. It's got to be the most fun. It's the most engaging. It does everything so well. The performance is off the charts on this car. And just, oh my goodness. You know, we've got shift lights in here, mounted in the gauge cluster, which just are so cool. I love the analog gauges here. This thing revs out to just almost 7,000 RPM. So we're hitting about 6,800 RPM. And you get this thing anywhere close to like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, you let off, pop, 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 pop. You're popping shots, man. And the only other car I really could have compared this to was maybe CLA 45 or this A45. They really did have an crazy exhaust, and this I30N, it's so much fun. You just get it about 4,000, hold it. Now let's go over the price here, because that is going to be a big thing for everybody. Now, starting off, they're going to set you back before on roads about 45.5 grand. That's for a manual base model. Today we are testing out the base model dual clutch. That's going to set you back about 47 grand. And if we do go for the top of the range I30N, premium pack, dual clutch, sunroof, you're going to be looking at about $52,000 before on road. So once you pay your on-roads, your regos, all of your taxes here, you know, this thing is getting close to 60 grand. And that's a lot of money. You know, this particular one, when we get all the on-roads and everything on it, you're going to be looking around that $50,000 mark. That's still a lot of coin for one of these, but I still feel like this is the car I would buy. I honestly feel that way. The new GTI, I'm not impressed with it at all. They really did lose me with all of that futuristic interior, all of the non-buttons that you gotta press that are just touch sensitive. Even the older I30N, I honestly thought that was a better car than the GTI, and it was cheaper. Now when we do apply over 90% throttle, I like that, and the bangs, this car will actually give us, it's like a power shift. So it just automatically does it. If you push that pedal down past 90%, it's gonna power shift for you if the conditions are met. And man, it goes hard. It really does. Like, it's a beast, this little car. Now, just having a look at the new I30N and going over some of the updates for 2021 here. And of course, we can see we do have a completely revised front bar. You know, we have these new headlights, and when you see the daytime running effect it has, it's really good looking. Even have some legitimate aero down here, which does help cool these brakes. These are bigger brakes for 2021. So these are 360 mil in diameter now, and they are N branded. And I absolutely love the new wheels. So these are 19-inch, factory forged from Hyundai, and mate, they look spectacular. They're wrapped in 235 Pirellis all around. They're P0s. It's just good. I absolutely love the style. You know, you have this N branded side skirt that runs down the side of the car. Any angle I see this vehicle in, I just think it's handsome. You know, like the side of the car looks good. The back of the car looks good. You know, you've got this kind of nice little spoiler up here, which looks good. I love this as the third brake light. Very cool, like especially on the track, it's nice. Even at the back of this car, you know, they have raised up the plastic a little bit, which is a little bit questionable, but I think it still looks very meaty. You have these massive exhausts back here, this kind of diffuser. When you have a listen to this thing, it's insane. Now, while we're back here, you look in the boot and you got tons of room. So I've got all my camera gear here. You know, you do have this bar here for rigidity again, and you can drop the seats down. It's practical. It actually is practical. And again, I just think it's a really good looking hatch. Now in the back seats, It is very basic in here. This is a base model again, and when you get back in here, this is in a normal seating position. We have, you know, a reasonable amount of leg room. It's tight, and headroom is totally fine. Feet room is okay. In general here, you're gonna fit, but if you're over 6 foot tall, you wouldn't want to be here for a long trip. Medium to short trips only, especially if somebody is in the middle. We do have a armrest that comes down, gives you a couple of cup holders. It's not too bad. And again, it is just all cloth, but you still get some of this nice effect in it, and blue stitching. It's reasonably nice back here. No air vents, unfortunately. No USBs. You do get these kind of cubbies on the side, and that's really it. Now, in the front seats, it is pretty nice. You know, you do get these cloth seats, base model again, but we have that embroidered N logo, some blue stitching once again. You even do get a little bit of thigh support here, which is nice. And when you step in here, it's reasonably nice. You know, the wheel is very premium feeling. You got the N badge there. You've got your N drive mode, your other drive modes to select from here. All of your switches on the steering wheel do feel nice. They're easy to use. You've got your paddle shifters. The gauges do look very nice also. I've got no complaints there. Shifter down here, any N-line product you've seen will have this, and they are nice. You know, they've got stitching again, leather. It feels very nice and weighty. Dual climate control. It's simple, easy, nothing to worry about there. Now, we do have the 10.25-inch infotainment system up here, and it's kind of doing this floating effect. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way it looks. It is very good. You know, it's touch sensitive, easy to use. You know, it's quick-witted. You've got the N mode apps here, which are very cool, and we can go into, you know, G meters. You can go through all these different gauges, torque, turbo, plenty of customization. We also even have a performance option. So here you can set how much RPM you want for a launch. You can go all the way up to 3,500 RPM. You've got your shift lights that you can set, N track sense, your N power shift, all of that is activated. It's so much fun and great that they did this. You know, you can even put your timers. If you're at a track, you can start doing laps, and that's so great. Even your 0 to 100, 2 cup holders, a real handbrake. Absolutely love that. You know, this feels all right. It's nice leather stitching. Got a reasonable amount of storage in there. We do have a wireless phone charging here. We've got USB, 212 volts. That's pretty nice. But yeah, so in general, there is a lot of hard touch plastic. It's all scratchy. That doesn't give you the best feel, but I do like the seats. The wheel is very nice. The shifter here is very nice. It's one of those things. If you want it to be a little bit more fancy, you can go for the premium pack, pay a little bit more. I, for one, only care about one thing. That. Now, 0 to 100, guys, this thing is claimed at 5.4 seconds with the DCT. So we've got it in drive. We are going to put it in N mode. This does have a launch control feature, which we are going to do. So we go to performance. We go set the RPMs, let's say 3,200. Activate. And now if we go back, we can go into our timers. That should be recording a lap. We've also got our other draggy timing gear here, which we're going to use. So we're going to hit N-grin shift as well and launch this thing. So go, 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 go. It does have that very slight turbo lag right at the beginning. Listen to this thing. And oh my goodness. And when this thing hits boost, it is off. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, guys, right there through the draggy, 5.1 seconds. Man, I totally believe that. And the fact that it's going that much quicker than they claimed it on a backcountry road, that's so impressive. Front wheel drive, 2-liter turbo, 4-cylinder. Wow, I absolutely love this. This thing is a beast. It is a absolute beast. It's a rocket. It is a rocket. So, in conclusion, the new I30N DCT is seriously an impressive little hot hatch. It's engaging, it makes a racket, and it will seriously hurt your face from the smiles it gives you. Whether you're team manual or team DCT, the new I30N will not disappoint. Yes, it may not be as technically quick as, say, a GR Yaris, but in terms of driver feel, fun and excitement, the I30N takes the cake and still offers you one of the best in-class warranties that will cover you on the track. Is this Australia's new best hot hatch? Yes. Would I ever buy one? 100% yes. Thanks for watching.